Welcome Libra to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 19th of August for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. This week begins with that very powerful full moon, but for you it occurs in your sister air sign of Aquarius, which is the 5th house, and that's very much about where we're affectionate, demonstrative, playful, can be around our social situation. Very expressive place for the full moon to be. But the position of the facing Sun and the retreating Mercury in the Cazimi that forges on Monday, that faces off against the moon, that's in house 11. That's about your future, your connections, your network, your highest hopes. But if in that future plan you don't feel that you're quite able to express yourself as much as you want, or you're hanging out with a group of people that you feel a bit inhibited by, or you're in a romantic situation that you don't feel has got a long-term future, that's what this full moon is going to flag up, and very powerfully. And that's because Uranus, the planet of freedom, the planet of provocation and rebellion, is in the part of your situation to do with where you're most invested. Now that can be financially, but equally emotionally, and the 8th house is also where we join and connect deeply. Uranus, of course, can be about freedom and independence. So the fact that Uranus angles to the moon, creating a lot of nervous tension, but also back to Mercury and the Sun, means that if there is a situation where you feel someone's been too cloying, too possessive, perhaps even jealous, that's really going to be quite the turn off for you. Not least because Mars and Jupiter are in the part of your situation to do with freedom. And in the middle of last week, they reached a peak in that relationship, pushing you to be more adventurous and independent. Ironically, they're squared off by the restrictive energies of Saturn. And Saturn for you is making you mindful, and has been over the last 17 months, about your work responsibilities, obligations, your life structure and your physical vitality. So you could go into this week with Saturn squaring up with Mars and Jupiter, feeling a bit world weary, feeling that your need to be a freer person, Mars and Jupiter, is being conflicted by the demands of others. So if that's playing out in your social and romantic situation as much as your practical or work situation, that all brings a lot of energy coming up to the surface. Also, your ruler Venus is locked away in house 12. That's where we're thinking very deeply about our relationships, but it's opposed by Saturn at the start of the week. Another point of tension if a relationship isn't working. So there's a lot here that can give you food for thought. But one of the things about you is because you are an air sign and because you like balance, you don't generally make instant decisions. You tend to weigh things up very carefully. But it's also important, if you feel the inclination, to see through any decision that you feel you need to make. So you could find yourself at something of a crossroads this week, and once the Sun moves into your 12th house to join up with Venus on Thursday, the need to step back and think very carefully about where you're heading is going to get stronger. But there is going to be one byproduct of this week, Libra. You could find that you're going to be much in demand by lots of different people, and perhaps that's nice. It could be flattering, but do choose carefully. And by the end of the week, I really feel that you're going to be focused on quality rather than quantity when it comes to your social connections, but particularly when it comes to your love life. You need to be mindful of your future. Is this a relationship that really will work for the long term? Is this friendship one that's really uplifting to me? Is the energetic exchange good for me? And if the answer to any of those is no, Uranus is pushing you to cut the cords, even if it is something you may find painful. Have a lovely week. And if you'd like to take advantage of my very special year 2025 personal forecast offer, you can get the rest of this year free, and also for 30% off your life roadmap report. Please see the link beneath this video. All this is based on your personal birth data. No two charts are exactly the same. It's great value and will give you searing insights to guide your moves future forwards.